Hi, second graders. I'm going to help you again with some of your language work. This is in your yellow booklet, the Common Core Writing and Language, and this is for page 28. It's the very last page in the book. I think you know that we actually are kind of jumping around in this book. So this is the page that we're doing together today. It's called Use Shades of Meaning. And this has been something, of course, that we've had in our purple packet this week. And it's really kind of a work with synonyms, words that mean the same, as well as when the synonyms have a slightly different meaning. Sometimes the word can be a stronger meaning or less, or just slightly different, but similar enough, but you should start to know that there's a little difference. Okay? So the directions say to draw a line to match each word on the left, these over here, with its shades of meaning on the right. Okay, so our words down the first list are, and you can read them with me, throw, thin, stay, silly, get, empty, bother, and wet. Okay, and let's read our sets over here. We have annoy, irritate, goofy, ridiculous, blank, vacant, damp, soggy, slender, skinny, toss, hurl, receive, accept, stop, and wait. All right, some of these might be easier than the other. Let's start at the top one though, and the word is throw. So you can think about, I can throw a ball. Were there any other words that seem to be similar to that? I think you would agree with me that toss and hurl are words that we could use for when we put something in the air to get to someone else. Now, is there some differences? Now, I would say toss is kind of a gentle throw. Like I might ask somebody to toss me their keys or my keys. I certainly do not want them to hurl the keys at me. Remember, the word hurl is like when you throw really strong, really hard, really fast. I would not want somebody to hurl keys at me. If it hit me in my face, that's going to be a problem. So a toss is a gentle throw and hurl is a really strong throw. But all of them are the idea of throwing, making something kind of go through the air to something else, somewhere else. All right. Let's try the next one, thin. So was there some words here that seem similar to thin? Maybe one of these two you know a little bit more. Maybe you hear skinny more than slender. But that would maybe just be a new word in the shades of meaning that you're less familiar with. But thin is similar to slender and skinny. Now, I would say there's kind of a difference between skinny and the others. Skinny sometimes means like way too thin, like so thin that maybe it doesn't even look healthy. Like you might say, oh, the stray cat hadn't been fed for weeks and it was so skinny and weak. That isn't a good thing then, right? But slender might just be a really nice looking thin as well as thin, right? So there's some differences if they're kind of a good version or a bad version of a similar thing. Certainly it doesn't mean big or fat. They're the opposite of that, right? Okay, let's see what's next here. Stay. Could that be annoy or irritate, goofy, ridiculous, blank, vacant, damp, soggy, receive, accept, stop, wait. Oh, sometimes I might ask you to stay right there. Don't move, right? And that would be kind of the idea of to stop or to wait, right? So I think those are it. There certainly might be different ways that we use those words, but they're similar enough, and some are better in some situations than others. Let's go on to silly. Oh, did silly and goofy kind of pop into your head? Yeah. Ridiculous is kind of one of those words too. Um, Again, some of these words just kind of depend on what you're talking about. If sometimes somebody uses the word ridiculous and they mean like, that was just a really bad choice. I mean, kind of like you didn't use any sense or any thinking. This was not a good choice. What a ridiculous thing for you. But does that necessarily mean that it's goofy? Like something that makes people laugh because it's so silly? Um, but sometimes something that's ridiculous is kind of meant to be funny. It's so goofy, it's so silly, and it kind of depends. But they're similar enough that we would connect them, right? All right. Let's go on. We have the word get. Could get be to annoy or irritate? Get. Blank, vacant. Damp, soggy. Receive, accept. Oh yeah. Like I received a letter in the mail. Could you say I got a letter in the mail? Similar. Um, Accept is a little bit different. You still get something, but it's kind of like you somebody offers it to you, and then you say yes. You will accept it. A little bit different. My lines got a little out of whack there. I hope you can tell which one's which. We have 3 to go. Empty. Empty, would that be like annoy, blank, or damp? I think you get the idea of empty, meaning nothing's there. So it would be like blank. Vacant is a special word, though. We often would use vacant to mean something that's empty, like a building that has nothing in it. A space in town where a house might be built is a lot. If there's nothing there, it's a vacant lot. It's empty in a way. It's not quite used in every situation, like I wouldn't say, oh, I don't have any cash. My wallet is vacant. I might say my wallet is empty. Okay. I probably wouldn't say my wallet is blank. There's certain words that work in certain situations, but they're similar enough, right? Let's talk about bother. That goes along with annoy and irritate. Wouldn't you kind of agree with me that if you get irritated, you are the most bothered you can be? I think bothered is like the weak meaning. Annoy is a little stronger, and irritate is the strongest. Because if you just almost can't handle it anymore, that's when you're irritated. Annoyed is kind of strong, but I think irritate is really strong. Bother is, you might say, oh, this itch over here is bothering me, right? I can notice it. I might put up with it, but when you get to the point of being annoyed or irritated, you almost can't stand it. Okay. Sometimes students did this to other students while they were working, bothering them, annoying them, irritating them. There's some stronger words. All right. Our final one is wet, and that will go with damp and soggy, right? Damp is not so wet, right? Oh, it's just a little damp. But I think soggy sometimes can be like practically dripping, right? So there's different strengths of those words. Now, the final thing to do would be choose 3 words from the left or right column above and demonstrate their shades of meaning. Use each word in a sentence and circle the 3 words. Now, for example, I could pick 3 words that go together. Like I could pick throw, toss, and hurl. And it might be kind of neat to pick 3 that are connected. I would suggest that because it's your best way to really show the differences in the word. Like I would talk about toss in a gentle way, right? And I would use hurl in something like the major league pitcher hurled the ball at 90 miles an hour, right? That is fast and hard. Throw, I might just kind of pick kind of a normal thing. You decide. It's a good thing for you to practice and giving good clues as to what your meaning is. I wouldn't say, I throw the ball, I toss the ball, I hurl the ball. You're not really giving any clues about the differences between how that ball is coming. You might toss the ball gently to your little sister. There's a difference in how that ball moves, right? Well, that's some help for this lesson today. I think shades of meaning are kind of fun. They give you really good vocabulary, which will help you with writing and reading. So good luck with that, everybody.